Welcome or welcome back. This is Pairs Well Knitting. I'm Jennifer, and this is a knitting podcast all about knitting, yarn adventures, and travel. Thank you very much for joining me today. So excited that you're here with me, and I'm thrilled that I'm bringing you a traditional knitting podcast. We're going to be talking about finished objects, we're styling those, whips, and acquisitions. We do have an element of fancy coming in today. We are fancy for spring. So glad you're here. We're going to bounce right in. I'm not wearing any wool today because it's a little warm, just got back from a walk. So let's start talking about finished objects. My first finished object is something you haven't seen before. I was heavily inspired by the pattern from Gille from La Bien-Aimée, and this is influenced heavily by her Le Bandana pattern. I did not purchase the pattern. I wanted to have an element of interest as I figured out on my own, basically how to knit a stockinette micro shawl. This is one skein wonder that I used. It's a hand-dyed yarn. I don't have the ball band anymore. That's older, from a unit sale in Toronto. It was the 20% off yarn, and it's a super wash. I think it feels super washy with speckles. Super fun for spring. And the color was calling to me. I figured with my neck, I'm very sensitive. And so this would be perfect for a little micro shawl. I started using influence from Petite Knit and the Sophie Shawl scarf. But obviously very different because we have a stockinette stitch going on instead of a garter stitch. The elements that remain the same, of course, are the I-cord edging. The I-cord actually allows the stockinette to lay relatively flat. I use the same amount of cast on as the Sophie Shawl. So that was the same. The technique to get the I-cord edging, which I don't know if you could change, is also borrowed from Petite Knit. Where it differs, of course, is the stockinette element and the inclusion of the increases and decreases, because the ones that were written in the Sophie Shawl pattern did not work for the stitching. So what I did is I experimented with all kinds of increases as I went. I did like make one L's, make one R's. I did lifted increases. I tried a whole bunch of things. I ended up going with a super basic make one lefts that I feel are fairly decent to get what I was requiring within the stockinette stitching. I weighed my yarn, and halfway through I started doing my decreases. I could not find a decrease that I found looked really beautiful within the pattern. I don't know if you can tell in here. They're slightly messy. You can see I did for decreases. I did knit two together. I did a slip knit. SSK, slip knit. I tried to do like a three-way bind off, a three-way decrease. Nothing was working. So again, I went super basic and I did a knit two together. It was the best one, and I honestly feel for what it produced in the end after blocking, I'm super happy with it. I'm just going to be mindful as I kind of just drape it over because I know the mic, it'll pick up the funny sounds, but I adore the shape of it, the size of it. I think it's just going to be perfect. Haven't worn it yet. It just dried today. But I'm going to wear it when I go out, and it's going to be close up on my neck to keep me cozy in the chillier, fresher days of spring, and we're excited. I feel for me with superwash yarn, this is a great way to have those skeins and use them. Is a one skein element, a project that will, that can travel with me and is close to my neck because it's super soft. So that's my first finished object. Second finished object we are going to chat about. Okay, I'm just gonna put this down so she doesn't fall off. Happy with this guy. My next finished object. Hello. This is, and I'm hoping you'll see, but there are tons of videos in a moment, so please bear with. This is the Wild Posy. This is a beautiful design that you would have seen on this channel already, but a very different yarn. This is a pattern by Melody Hoffmann. This is knit. Just, I wish this was feel-o-vision and you could feel the gorgeous luxe beautifulness of this fabric, of this sweater. This is Biches Buches Le Gros Silk and Mohair. I will talk about the yarn first, then I'm going to talk about the sweaters, I'm going to talk about my mods. Let's do that. I'll put this gorgeous piece here. Ooh, maybe I'll put it this way so you can kind of see the yoke. She'll stay there. So I was gifted very generously by Astrid and Caroline from Biches Buches, which is a yarn company located in France, but they are two women from Scandinavia that have gifted me this gorgeous yarn. This is Le Gros Silk Mohair. I have talked about this yarn. Finished object is just stunning. The process was a delight, and I will talk about that as well. This is a thick mohair. This is what Le Gros means. Gros means big. So this is a big, thicker, chunkier mohair, and I'll show you a little. Can you see there? Yeah, it's a thicker strand of mohair. If you are used to knitting with mohair, we're used to it being lace weight, and we often pair it with another yarn, fingering, DK, whatever it is. This, you do not have to pair it with another yarn to get a thicker gauge. I was extremely intrigued because I find, for me, I really have to be mindful if I choose to knit with a mohair and something else, because I'm often watching to see that I'm catching that mohair on every stitch. I have had garments that are beautiful in the end with mohair, but there's sometimes stitches that I miss because the mohair is so fine, that lace weight. I love the simplicity of this because this is a one-stop element to get such a gorgeous garment in the end with mohair. I will tell you about this. This is 28% silk. I believe it's a mulberry silk, and 72% kid mohair. This is, I believe, dyed, but milled for sure in Italy, and it's just glorious. The suggested needle size for this is a 7 or a 9, so 4.5 millimeter needle to a 5.5 millimeter needle. I did not follow that. I will share with what I did. It's just stunning. This is in the colorway dark red. I feel this really hits that element of cherry red that is in for spring. That was also my spring inspiration, so I'll pop a little board here, and I just feel like it's such a win. The beautiful thing as well, I mean, I could talk about this forever, but the color even, so it is interestingly and ironically a color choice of spring and one of the trend colors. To me, this is not even a trendy color in itself. This is a super classic that will carry me through every season. To me, this does scream in a really like fancy nice way autumn. So I have to say I'm really excited to wear this sweater in the fall because I feel like this just oozes that beautiful autumnal color. But this is it. This is the yarn. And honestly, again, I wish you could just like reach out and touch, because light as a feather, as soft as butterfly kisses, it's a stunner. And I do have to say, I'm very thankful, of course, appreciative that I was gifted this yarn. I would buy this in a heartbeat, and I cannot wait to cast on another sweater, different color, with this yarn. I mean, I'm going to purchase it. It's such a winner. And I hope if you're interested, please ask questions about it too, because it was a delight. I do want to talk about the process of working with this actually before I get into the sweater, because the process was very unique. I was actually a little mindful how it would work up with my knitting needles. I use metal needles, chagu, and I've worked with these kinds of needles with like brushed alpaca before. very unenjoyable experience because you have these extra fibers and fluffs that are kind of catching as you're knitting. There were no issues with this. This was very easy to knit with. So that was lovely. And the experience in the end is delight to wear. So I'm just putting things back here. Okay, let's talk about this. First of all, the lightness factor is ridiculous. It's literally as light as a feather. A ball of the Gros Mohair, the Gros Silk Mohair is 50 grams. I was gifted 5 balls. I have one and I would say about half left. Haven't weighed it, sorry, but I'd say 1.5, one and maybe a quarter, I'll give it that. This was whatever was left, like from that 5. So we're looking at like say 3.5, 3 3/4 balls to create the very first size of sweater. It's insane. So it's, what is that? That's 53, 150. So say like 180-ish grams. I mean, this is a massive win for me, not only in the looks of the field department, but I can travel with this. It weighs nothing. It's going to smush down into, say, a carry-on or even my little valise, my little suitcase. Fabulous. This is also, and this is where my brain goes, because when I'm packing and packing my knitting, this could be a great option because it's so squishable, it's so light. This could be great if you're wanting to knit an entire sweater while you're away, which I adore because that's memories. Great option. We're going to get on to the sweater, then we're going to style it. So let's do this. So this is the second time I have knit the Wild Posy. There are 2 options from Melody Hoffmann. There is a Flora, there is a Luna option. Luna doesn't have the laces, my goodness, the lace stitches that the Flora does. This has slight, can we see there? Sorry, goodness. Lace stitches that occur at the top and the bottom of the yoke. The yoke is all textured and just wonderful stitches that I feel, for me for sure, keep my interest and offer such a beautiful element of design to wear the sweater. It's just a wonderful piece to wear. The pairing of the yarn and the pattern, such a win. My 2024 knitting intentions was to use yarn that I'm obtaining gauge to make sure that the pairing of the yarn and the pattern would be a win for me. This is a massive win. The odd thing is that the very first Wild Posy Flora that I knit up was using 2 strands held double of Plutolopi. I got the same gauge, which is quite bizarre. I knit this, and another odd thing, it doesn't make sense in my science brain, using a US 5. US 5 is also equivalent to the millimeter, 3.75 millimeter needle to get gauge. I mean, I am a loose knitter. Interesting, it worked. The dimensions are perfect for the first size that Melody has organized. Bizarre, but I mean, she's a massive win. I've already worn her quite a bit. You're going to see in the styling. She's very versatile again. Elements that I enjoy, of course, are the neckline. I feel like it's quite unique. It has a 1x1 ribbing with a couple rows prior of just stock net. So there's like a micro curl that happens that offers just beautiful finishes. This is one of my mods. I mimicked that here in the cuff. This is the sleeve, and I don't know if I love it actually. I hear what Melody Hoffmann was trying to do, and she just did the ribbing, not mimicking the cast on edge, but you know, it's different. I liked it. Another mod that I did was the short rows. Short row shaping is done at the back, of course. In the pattern is actually after the texture and lace work, just outside of that yoke before you split for sleeves. I did mine just prior, just like I did on my first Wild Posy, and I did it right after my my neckline. I really like it there. I think it's great. It doesn't make it look bizarre, I don't think, before the motif. And other than that, I followed the pattern. Are you wondering, like, who are you? I know. But that to me, again, I'm like, okay, I know it's the same pattern. I've had this, I've already experienced this before, but still, we're getting engaged. Now we're making a sweater. We're making a sweater that fits. We had such a lovely experience. I mean, maybe this is not only the sign, this is like confirmation of fact that this is what I have to start doing. I adore it. I adore it. I think it's just fantastic. Melody Hoffmann has done a wonderful job. The ladies Astrid and Caroline have done a wonderful job with their yarn, the pairing, perfection. It's wonderful. Wonderful. We are going to get into the styling for today, but before we do, I have to share another gorgeous gifted item that came from Teddy Blake. I have accepted this gorgeous bag from a company named Teddy Blake New York. I will tell you all about the bag. I'm going to do a little show and tell for you. I'm going to talk to you about the company. I have been approached before by companies outside of knitting world, and I have said no every time, hopefully in a nice, kind way, but I felt like it just wasn't a good match. It wasn't a good pairing for myself personally, for pairs well with knitting, or I feel our knitting community. And so I was being a little choosy, and I feel like I can be a little choosy. I was approached by Teddy Blake, and I thought, okay, let's see what this is all about. I'm digging what I have accepted. So I hope you can understand that this is something that I have really started enjoying as a fancy gift that I have received. I'm going to share about it because I have given her a good spin around the city and I'm really enjoying. This has definitely fit my aesthetic. I really have enjoyed this bag and I'm going to tell you about it. So let's do this. This is a company, Teddy Blake, that exclusively designs beautiful leather bags that are produced in Italy. They're based out of New York. And I have to say, the quality of this bag far surpasses what I was expecting. You never really know. I think because again, this was all online. I wasn't able to like touch, see, smell. When I received this bag, and we are still going strong on the gorgeous, I love leather smell. I'm thrilled. I'm delighted. Here's the other thing that I'm really enjoying about this is that she is big. She has compartments on the side. I don't know if you can see, there's lots of nose going on, but little zippers where you can put your little goodies in there that maybe you don't need anyone seeing kind of thing, if we catch my drift. The other thing is that this grows. So you notice here, this is how I've had it so far because, this girl's not working right now. So I can have it in this accordion type style bottom, the triangular base. So we're good. Lots of space on the bottom and you're like, oh, interesting. Just little nuppet at the top. Oh no, we found out this feature while I was playing is that there's little snaps here. Hello. Oh, and on this side too. So there we go. Magically, she grows. And now she's just this beautiful big bag where you can fit all of your heart's desires into. I'm in love. I never thought I would be a bag chick. I'm that girl now. We're walking around the city. We're carrying this bag. We are looking fabulous. I got a comment. I went out for lunch. I went out for coffee earlier this week. I've had comments from people. I mean, usually it's really nice. I'll get a comment about my knitted garment that I'm wearing. I was getting comments about the bag. Okay, let's do all of it. So we're feeling a little fancy. So you're going to see in the styling video that we have paired this beautiful bag with my knit fits because we can. And we're stepping it up with a little extra fancy fun. So I do want to share with you today, if you are interested in checking out Teddy Blake, there's all the information below, including the website, in addition to the already 60% off of what you would pay for other bags just like this. They are generously giving an extra $30 off of your next bag purchase if you use the code TB Pairs Weld Knitting. Again, the code is TB Pairs Weld Knitting. All of that information, again, will be in the description below if you want to peruse and possibly enjoy a gorgeous fancy bag of your own. So that's Teddy Blake. Thank you so much to the company for such a generous gift. We're going to get into the styling now. As we get into this now, we are going to be exploring how I'm bringing in the gorgeous Flora Wild Posy sweater into the wardrobe. What I'm doing first, I'm going to bring my computer a little closer so I can see, hopefully you can too, is I'm pairing it with something that I would classify as a basic component of my wardrobe. I have a black very like tight-fitted turtleneck and just a really simple basic classic jean. These are the 501 Levi's, and of course pairing it with the Wild Posy. I do have to say the weather's a little bit warmer today, but last week we were experiencing full winter, so this was definitely a look I was going for and worked really well. So I feel this is a good kind of comparison that I can use with my other styling pieces that you're going to be seeing, but I love it. I mean, she's a great time. I didn't share a naughty dirty knitting secret with you, is the lace work at the bottom. I messed up on. I do want to share about that. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, back and focusing. We're pairing it with a ballet flat. These are sling back pointy toe black shoe that you've seen before on these types of videos, and I just feel they go with everything. So again, you know, this is what I would classify as a basic pairing for this sweater, but we're bringing it up a little bit. We're making it a little fancy. And of course, I have my Teddy Blake bag. Again, this is the Kate Vitello bag, and I just feel that this look, even though it's basic to me, it elevates it into classic and fancy. It just makes everything kind of sing together in such a lovely way. I really enjoy it. I'm showing how to wear the bag as I do in the city, as I hustle around over my shoulder, and I use it as a crossbody bag. I just feel for me when I'm hustling and I'm using my arms to, like, you know, power me forward in the city on the sidewalks, that this totally allows for both arms to be free, which is perfect in my opinion. This is why I think I love the crossbody bag feature. But of course, you know, she looks so nice by just like hanging on those beautiful round handles. I love that too. My next look, this is going a little out of the box of deviating from the Flora the Wild Posy. This I have kept on the turtleneck and my classic jeans, but I've paired it with, this is like a retro, almost like biker inspired jacket. A leather from Denier, and I've added on that mock collar. I talked about that in another video as well. I'm pairing it with my black cinch shrug. This is a pattern by Jackie Rose. It's paid for pattern. I did the shrug, the Holiday Shrug Club cowl, all before the holidays and during. And this was one of my cinch shrugs that I made. The cast on edge is multiple strands of Gina's Skein Cocaine fingering hand-dyed yarn that it's so lovely that I received at Rhinebeck. And now I'm pairing it with a simple black comfortable pump. I'm trying to say comfortable pump because these are as comfortable as pumps ever get. And the job I have being on my feet all the time, these are the only things that I actually can wear. Finishing the look with fingerless gloves. These are, of course, my own design. These are favorite fingerless mittens. And these exact ones are two strands of Plutelope. I've added some baubles on the knuckle and I get tons of wear. So this is like an elevated, fancier knit fit. This would be something that I could wear in the evening as well, but I wanted to show the look with the bag, the Teddy Blake bag. Of course, I love the monochromatic look with all the black. I adore the textures and different fabrics of the leather, of the really soft Camarose Senfnug, which is of the Senfnug. That's a delight to me and a super win. Love it. All right, we're moving back now. This will be bringing us back into the sweater. This is, again, a monochromatic black look. These are a washable crepe pant from Eileen Fisher and a very large, I think this is like an extra large Gap blouse. It's just a cotton blouse with a higher neckline, a slight ruffle, and a button backing. And this is going to be layered underneath the Wild Posy. So I'm just being mindful because I love seeing all those different layers as you're wearing them to really showcase that you do have those layers on. I find those looks and pops of extra fabric or textures, for me, I love seeing either on people, I love to wear myself. So I'm just pulling down that sleeve. That's also why I like larger shirts, because I find I can get that extra little like bump out of my shirt sleeve. And then of course, because of the high neck collar of the black blouse and the little ruffle, it adds that extra feature as well with the yoke, which I really enjoy. I'm putting on, these are a black Oxford shoe. They're from Geox, and they've got like an athletic, like rubber type sole. Super comfortable, and again, in my daily life, when I'm bebopping all over the place, this just makes getting here and there, because I do walk a lot of places, that much more easy and comfortable, which is required, I feel. I'm digging the look. It's casual, but still a little elevated. I brought the Teddy Blake bag back, and again, I feel even though we have a mix of kind of like fancy but athletic with the shoe, again, the bag just brings everything together. And I feel this is still new to me as a canvas bag girl. I'm really enjoying that. I have another style of washable crepe pant on in this look. This is a much more form-fitting pant. It's almost like a legging jegging with a little more ease on the leg. And I've got a chambray top button down. It has an interesting backing because the two side panels split almost like an old style like tuxedo shirt, I think. But it's fun, and then I kind of feel like it covers my bottom as well with the tighter pant. And of course, I'm pairing it with the Wild Posy to go on top. This color of the dark red is so enjoyable, and I feel it's just so rich with the black, but I wanted to just give it a smidge of extra color with the chambray, with that jean color, and it does really work, the dark red and the blue. And I do have to say, actually, against the blue, the dark red is very leaning towards a brown, like a reddish brown, which I love it. I'm putting on a plain pant boot here. I think these are a Fry pant boot, if I recall correctly. I can't tell in the image because it's so small on my screen. But there we go. A polished look. Again, I like the elements from the shirt. This just kind of pop out and make it look a little more casual, a little more like less put together, if that's like allowed to be said. But I really enjoy crispness, like fresh looks, and put together, but like a little relaxed at the same time. And I feel like that's how I like wearing my shirts. It's a good time. I'm pairing this just on top with my black wool coat. And again, all the layers, really enjoy the different textures, of course. It's just singing to me. I like that look. This is obviously for like possibly evening or beginning of spring. And I have to say, this was a look that I was rocking last week because she was a chilly one here in Toronto. We have only started experiencing warmer weather literally this weekend. And we hope it's here to stay, but we'll see. Popping the collar because I love a pop collar, so we're popping her like it's hot. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. In going through my wardrobe, this is also what I adore about doing these styles of videos is I refound this dress. This is a smock dress that I purchased. I don't know the name. If you have questions about it, I can include the designer. I forget who the designer is. I have to look at the label. But this is just a really fun, almost like silly smock dress because it's very like crunchy looking. It's very crisp material, super comfortable to wear. I have it with the stretch and washable crepe pants. It's tighter. And of course, putting the Wild Posy over top. Again, I find just this color and sweater just works so well with black, black bits from my wardrobe. And yeah, I always find with this outfit, this idea before I have the sweater, of course, I would wear this to work, for example. I felt like so free-spirited in it because it's just a silly but fun option to wear. You look put together, but it's a little more playful. And so I always feel like that little element of more excitement when I'm wearing something like this. And I can't believe it was in the back of my closet, but I guess, I haven't gone into an office for a bit, so that's probably why. I've got the finishing off the look with the sling back shoes in black as well. And I love just how the top of the foot, is such a contrast to the shoe and the pant. I just find it's very flattering. It's a flattering look in general for people. I really enjoy it. Now we're in work mode. We've got the bag. We're ready for the day. Maybe I'm preparing looks for next year. My goodness. And yeah, again, come on. The shoulder strap, so functional, so useful, but it still is such a nice looking bag. I'm just so happy about the whole look. Yeah, it's definitely working for me. I'm enjoying that. Good times. Next up on the docket, this is more of a spring outfit. This is a combined, it's a blouse, like a casual blouse with a matching skirt. This is in the same material by Eileen Fisher, and it's a tencel. Tencel, I believe, is like a bamboo fiber and natural, and it's very light. It's so beautiful to wear. I travel with this all the time. It weighs next to nothing and perfect for warmer spring days, definitely coming into summer, and pairing it with the Wild Posy on top. This is a really simple look, and I find it's one that I just always go back to. It's a perfect look for if I want to be comfortable but look put together. This is always a win for me. This kind of look, I feel like I can wear out for anything. This could be for a relatively casual dinner. This could go, to work with me. I could meet up with friends like this. Like this is an everything look. And I do love the versatility of this whole styling. I've paired it with the singbacks, of course, and it's put together. Couldn't be comfier. This is why sometimes for the people that have to wear the leggings, want to wear the leggings, go for it. Not for me. Those are workout for me. Those are running for me. This is my equivalent legging. This is just so simple, so comfortable. Of course, I'm looking because at this time I have heaps of things spread out all over the bed to see, what can I like pick and try on together to style it. So I still have the cinch shrug out. So I'm popping this on to see if I need an extra layer. If it is quite chilly, then I've got something else on top. So now I have 2 woolly layers. And I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I like the black, the dark red, and the black. I don't know if I'm liking the shape that it creates because again, it looks quite heavy on the top, and that like full harsh divide of the black and the dark red color. I wasn't totally feeling it. I remember seeing myself in the screen. I wasn't loving it then, and I'm still not loving it now. I have found the alpaca shawl. This is a shawl I made. It's a triangular shawl. Super easy. I made this, I think, in my very first year of knitting. No pattern. It's literally a boomerang style shawl. And I like this much better. It's angular. So it's cutting at different points of the body. I find for me, this is much more flattering for this particular look than the shrug was. Shrug, beautiful, has a time and place, but I feel like this boomerang shawl actually works much nicer with the contrast of the colors and where the shapes are going. That's good in the end. This is a 100% Aimée look, which I'm always thrilled to be wearing, you know, me-made items from head to toe. So of course the wild posy on top. On the bottom, I have a sewn pant that I made. These are the Florence pants. This is a design by Elizabeth Suzanne. And they're very simple wide leg pant. I made these in Aero linen, of course in the black. They're just so incredible. I'm wearing them now. So incredibly wearable. They're like a PJ pant that you wear out. Again, a nice little like sub in if you're like legging sweatpant person. I feel this is like a cheat and you are getting fancy and luxe, but yet have the comfort of a legging or sweatpant. I put on a hat. This is what is this? I forget the name of this hat. It's a cowl hat. It's a free pattern. I'll link it in the show notes, of course. I cannot remember what it's called. Camarose Senfnug I know I used. And we're just getting a little cozy vibe. A little extra me made, if you will. The only thing I didn't make on this exact look are the shoes. Maybe that's in my next adventure of me makes. We are now pushing the wild posy to all the limits that we can because I want to see how versatile is she. This is a dress that I thrifted from Prince Edward County a couple years ago, and it's a Michael Kors cotton poplin dress. I think it's poplin dress. It's got a zip side, very fitted on the top, bottom, beautiful, full skirt, pleats. It's a very thick cotton, so it just, I mean, it feels amazing on because it's super heavy. And of course, pairing the wild posy together. This dress I wouldn't wear out all the time because I do feel it has an element of like quite fancy, not because of the texture with the cotton, of course, but it's the design, the shape of it. I've been inspired by watching a lot of other like spring trends, and that this like a big full skirt or big full fancy dress are being dressed down with sweaters. Now, usually these are store-bought sweaters, but hello, as a knitter, I'm definitely into that trend. So now we have what's looking more like a skirt with the singback shoes. I feel like I've immediately brought this whole outfit into a very beautiful work outfit, possibly. This could be, you know, a dinner, a lunch. Obviously, it's an elevated look from, you know, maybe just normal pants, but I really enjoy this combo. This might be my favorite look with the wild posy. I've got the beautiful bag, and yes, of course, what is inside? A project, because that's the beautiful piece with this bag too. It's big enough. I've got the project in there, and we're bringing it to Knitting World. It's joining my knit fits. I mean, we have to do this. Yeah. I'm definitely loving this look. This I have not worn out yet. I cannot wait because it's been cooler and I don't want to put tights with it. Yep, that's the look. So adore it. So adore it. Okay, so that was the styling for the Wild Posy. Again, I feel sky's the limit with this type of sweater. I will not go on about it, although I could. So there we are. I didn't share and I started sharing and then I got super sidetracked. Okay, here's my naughty dirty secret. Please, please help. The bottom motif of the sweater also has lace pattern. And I know you can't see it right now because of the lighting, and I did not line up the lace well. You actually, it's pretty good. You're able to see my silly mistake. The eyelet stitches are supposed to be on top of each other and the sides of each other to make almost like a cross, if you will, or a clover. I must have been, you know, into a little glass of wine or a cocktail, and we did a little mess up. All of my lace stitches are off. At least, you know, at least they're all off, but they're all off. So I found that when I was wearing, I didn't even notice until I was doing my videos and I looked up very closely and I thought, oh, that's too bad. Because if I wanted to correct it, I would have to take out all of the body and sleeves because of course the motif is done before the sleeve split. That's not happening. What should I do? I have some ideas. I have not acted on them because I'd like to hear from you first because I don't know if these are the best ideas. So options I thought of, there is a wrap stitch that's happening in the middle of the yoke. Do I somehow figure out a wrap stitch to cover up my mistakes, my naughty knitting mistakes here? That's one option. The second option is maybe making baubles, like little nups on the bottom here. I don't know if it's going to go with the motif that well, but it basically would just act as a cover up to the silly lace mistake that I did. I don't know. Help. What do I do? It's wearable. It's noticeable. I think, you know, I think if I ask non-knitting friends when I wear my sweater what they're noticing, I feel they'd point it out. I'm gonna play that game this week and see. What would you do? There we go. This is what happens when you get like into that like super rhythmic knitting, at least for me anyway. I adore and I get into it. I'm just there, but like never stopped to realize and review my work. Anyway, okay, we are gonna go through one whip because, you know, time, here we go. So the whip that I will go over is getting a lot of love right now, and you're gonna see why. I'm gonna bring her over here. Oh, goodness gracious, my heart. Hello, hello, look how gorgeous this is. This is the beginning, middle-ish of the Magnolia Bloom. This is a design by Camilla Vad. I've knit this twice before, and I'm pairing it with, let me show you all the goodness. I'm pairing it with Nutiden yarn, and this is called Dust. I can't even, I mean, I feel like already so in love. We're in love. We're in love. This is what we are. This is two strands held together with the one strand of mohair. Nutiden, this was the colorway that came out in, goodness, the fall. It might have been their last 2023 collection that came out. This was my first time buying Nutiden. I've never bought it before. I did a whole video of like an unboxing of it. I have to say this color is just stunning. The colorway is Carrot in English. I don't know what it's called in, I think it's Swedish. It starts with an S. I don't know. You can look it up. I'll put it in the show notes. It's literally a carrot colorway. It's heathered, so has bits and bobs of like browns and grays, I would say, with like a muddy orange overtone. If I can, I'm not like a professional colorist. That's what I would say. and it's fabulous. I could do a whole video about unspuns and comparing unspuns. This has been a unique creature, and I don't want to talk for 5 hours about it. Let me know if you want to hear about this unspun and how to work with it, because it is a unique process. I've also worked with other unspuns. I would love to compare all the unspuns I've worked with. Maybe this is something that you're interested in. The silk mohair is stunning. This is purchased from the Knitting Loft. This is, hold on. Oh my gosh, it's coming out. I just want to tell you the right information, but of course it's stuck. Here we go. Yes, there we are. So it's a silk mohair from the Knitting Loft. This is dust, as I said. It's the colorway Orange Crisp. And the combo is 70% kid mohair, 30% silk. Of course, it's lace weight, and it's just a dream to work with. Super fuzzy, super gorgeous. I'll probably never get this back in now. They actually balled it up for me, which was so nice because I do not have a ball winder. I have a Swift. And this was no way I was going to do this by hand with, like, you know, almost 500 meters of beautiful goodness on my thumb. So thank you to the ladies at the Knitting Loft, of course, Bruna and Maria, the owners. Thank you. And it was Rebecca at the Knitting Loft that suggested this exact colorway to go with the Nutiden, and it was just a match made in heaven. She did such a wonderful job of the pairing of it. This I found, which, you know, to be frank, I found it a little muddier than I had wanted. I feel this brightens it up in just the most perfect way, but still allowing for that heathering to shine through, if you will. I'm in love. I mean, I have just knit the yoke pretty much this week, the body, because she's a chunky weight. This is on a US 8 or in millimeters, because I know I get comments from you lovely folks. This is a 5mm needle. And so it's just working up. The yoke is glorious. As you're knitting, every row pretty much is different, and you're getting nups, you're getting lace, you are getting, in the end, these beautiful little motifs of magnolia flowers, and stunning, just stunning. I'm knitting the first size. I have knit this sweater, like I said, 2 other times in very different yarns. I've used Alafos Sloppy, which is Alafos by Istex, and then I knit another one in Topsy Farm in their Aran weight. Both are fabulous sweaters that I wear all the time. This is my third. I felt like I needed another win under my belt, and this is it. Maybe you want to see a comparison of all my magnolia blooms that I've done too, because she's a winner. I mean, third time I'm knitting this. Maybe is this my ranunculus? I don't know. Oh my goodness, I'll talk about this, I'm sure, in more detail the next time that we meet on here again. I could go on and on and on about that one. Okay, I'm gonna talk about one other thing, because I've got other things. Otherwise, I'm like, this is it. This is what we do as knitters. We have this. This is going out of the realm of everything. This is a cowl that I knit. I posted on Instagram. This was like a 2-day knit. I cast this on St. Patrick's Day, and I just enjoyed, because I was bebopping and sipping on, little Irish beer and things. And I had this picture in my head of exactly what I wanted for a cowl. These are slip stitches to get the color motif and little, like, different interest of texture there. This is all the different colors except even the cream are all scrappy yarn. This is all blown yarns, alpaca, like cotton blend blown yarns. The cream is drops air, and all the colors are leftovers Camarose Senfnug from My Badger in Bloom. I still have leftovers from this. Anyway, this is pretty much it for the leftovers, which was amazing. Massive like stash buster, which was the goal. I included a ruffle edge. The initial concept, I haven't woven anything, and I'm going to explain why, is that I had wanted it originally to be up, and I wanted the ruffle to be form-fitted around my face, because I didn't change my stitch counts as I cast on for the ruffles. They're very big. So now if I was to wear it, which I haven't yet, I would have to wear it like this, and it really spreads out. I'll put in a photo so you can see it. So I put out to Instagram world, are we liking it or not? Because it reminds me of a Renaissance ruff, that was the intent of what I wanted to go for, but I feel like it kind of has a clown vibe. So I've got some ideas of how I'm going to rip out, change up the stitch counts, and get exactly what I want to get that Renaissance ruff. This is why we haven't woven in ends, because she's not done. I feel like, you know, we gotta still like zhuzh it up, and I want to make it into something that she's just not yet. So that technically is a whip, and it'll be the last whip that I shared today. I'm very thankful for you to be here. So thank you again to Astrid and Caroline from Biches Buches for the beautiful yarn. Second, thank you very much to Teddy Blake. What a stunning bag. And again, if you're interested, link is below in the description, along with $30 off, already 60% off of these beautiful bags. So go check that out. If you have any questions about the bags, let me know. And other than that, I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I know that there are people that happily come on here, and I'm thrilled that you're here, but I would be even more thrilled if you subscribed. I find I'm still getting to know YouTube and how all the analytics are working, and I do know that if you are liking and subscribing, it allows for more of the community in knitting to grow. So please allow yourself, if you are feeling, motivated, to click along. If you are feeling even more so, I definitely invite you to click on the link below that brings you to my Ko-Fi page, where you can make a donation to me for what I'm bringing you today. And in addition, I do have my link as well on my Ravelry page, and also Etsy for the pattern for favorite fingerless mitts. That is another way that you can support. And then you're also getting a little something maybe perfect for spring, for stash busting. There are 2 yarn weights. I won't chat your ear off. I'll link a description in the video about favorite fingerless mitts. I think that's it. So thank you so much for being here today, and I wish you great joy in your knitting. Until next time.